we realized that the reason why children weren't engaged or the children weren't learning is because there were a lot of other issues they were facing at home, right? And also they needed some sort of love, care, which they couldn't get at home, right? I think once Revanth realized that, he started making a lot of community visits. Second half of first year, I think as a school team, they did a community survey, right? And they found out, they wrote a community narrative. They found out about what are some real problems in their community. They understood the viewpoint of parents, HM, and other community people, and they really came up with a school vision actually, right? And I think basing on that, Revanth made his class vision also. That's when he realized what his children really lacked is just communication piece, right? Fearlessly communicating and openly sharing what they wanted to, and really pursuing their dreams in order to completely change their reality. So because they are really little children, they initially faced problems of retention, of whatever is taught in class they would forget often. So Revanth sort of set up some learning systems outside classroom. So be it sight words paper that he would give to parents, which they can read to children at home, or be it some stories that parents would ask children to read, and be it the homework, right? So some learning structures outside home when he set up, to make them effective, he leveraged his relationships, I would say. His HM is a very influential man in the community, and again, if he says something that Revanth already has said, it becomes 10 times more important. The school has set syllabus which everyone needed to follow. I think Revanth and his fellows, they communicating what they do in their classroom, and they're showing the outcomes on a regular basis. In fact, they push the HM to sort of change the entire textbooks they use. The HM also sort of gave them flexibility to work around the schedule, take some extra classes, in fact move other subjects like Hindi and computers, so that he can do whatever is best for his children. One of the projects they are working on right now is the Be the Change project, which is teaching financial management to parents, right? So and this came from the issue of parents not paying fee on time, and it was sort of a relief for the HM also. So one more issue that they faced initially was the tuition teachers would say something completely different. The teacher is teaching something completely different stuff. So I think his relationship with tuition teachers and ensuring that they are following up on what he's teaching instead of completely teaching something else. So that also influenced a lot in terms of children's retention of what is being taught, and children's completion of work on time. They've become much more articulate now, and very much confident in how they share. In terms of English communication, I still see there is a long way to go for at least 50% children, but there are some 5 to 6 children, you could say, have really reached that level where they can articulate very well in English, and as well as openly speak and even express their opinions. Something that shows me today to believe that Fatima is going to be a really strong individual in life is just her ability to teach others. She conducts learning circles for other children in the community. Revanth started doing this in classroom. Fatima came up to him and said, sir, I want to do the same thing in the community. He said, why don't you do it? Go ahead. So one day she just said, why don't you come out to my place and see what's happening? And he was amazed by what she did. And the way Fatima turned from a shy girl to completely confident individual today makes me believe that she's become really strong person in terms of communicating with people and even helping others and teaching others. Just being an FA gave him an opportunity to work on a lot of projects at a city level, right? So be it lesson plannings that he would facilitate, be it the training sessions that he would facilitate for my LC, be it the learning circles, a part of learning circles that he would lead, because he's really good at art and craft, and often he would teach other fellows how can they use in their classroom, right? He in fact worked with a central team, training and impact team, and some fellows from other cities to sort of come up with some ideas on how can we strengthen values, mindsets and exposure and access in the city. Another big project that he did in his second year is Maya project. Yes, it improved a lot of things in his classroom, but the way he shares with other fellows, it has created a lot of impact. So even his children actually went ahead and conducted workshops in other classrooms. The first time he got rejected by Teach for India after his first attempt at Teach for India, I think he felt a little, he really wanted this. And in fact, the second time he applied that year, he actually put a timer to himself. Like every day he would write one thing that's going to make me closer to get into the fellowship. So he would do one thing, be it volunteer in a classroom, be it learn something about Teach for India, be it work towards some of his competencies that he lacked in the previous interview. So I think he came into the fellowship with such strong conviction that this is something that I really want to do in my life For sure.